Well, good afternoon, YouTube. This is Daily Stoic with your host, Jeffrey. We need to stick together, McCabe. I went to go live on my Facebook, but my car's got a squeaky shock, and I was driving it. I was like, I can't do this. But we need to stick together. As we watch the election go down in the States, as we're watching the elections come here in Canada, and it's tariff this and tariff that, and that guy's evil, and that guy's... Do we not see through this bullshit? Listen, if we listen to the politicians, they're all crooked. All they do is talk shit about each other, say they're going to fix it, and nobody ever makes the change they say they can make. And if we all just listen to them, all they do is tell us exactly how fuck up the other side is. And then they all get elected in some way, and we got to trust that they're all doing good now once they get elected. Listen, man, people need to start talking. The tariff thing started, and I was like, you get caught up in the hype, and it's like, hold on, wait a second. So businesses are going to make more money. Governments are going to use it to, weaponize each other against, I'm seeing Canadian flags pop up, and America this, and Canada this, and Patriot, and shut the fuck, man. Listen, bro, we are getting fucked with at levels that we can't even think about. That's my opinion. I didn't come here to bitch too much politics. I'll save that for a different avenue. But we need to start talking. Regular folk run the world, or at least here in North America. Let's say Canada, right? Let's stick with Canada. People work on roads. People work at hydro. People work at grocery stores. People work at Tim Hortons. Regular ass people. We run the world. Without us, these politicians don't know how to run shit. You know what I mean? They just waste their money and talk trash about each other. We need to start sticking together, and we need to start having a voice more than what our vote would count for. Because at this point, I don't trust any of these people in government. Look around. And it's the tariffs. Oh, really? The tariffs had fucking mass amounts of homeless people living in the streets all across our country, all across North America at numbers that we can't even fathom? That's the tariffs' fault? Get the fuck out of here, man. The cost of living is ridiculous. And this is my point. It's the tariffs are going to ruin us. Our economy's already destroyed, and the only people losing is working class folks. And you know what I mean? You think tariffs is going to make companies lose more money? No. They will lay people off to protect their profit margin. They will move shop to protect their profit margin and then blame the tariffs. Billionaires ain't losing a dime in this. I'm pretty sure all the big companies and big pharma and big government are raking in money hand over fist. Anyways, that's all I've got to say. I wanted to get that off my chest. I'm a pretty fueled up guy when it comes to shit like that. But that's not very stoic of me, is it? Perhaps there's a lesson here today. I don't know. I didn't pre-read it. But I do have to hurry up because I have to get to work. As always, reading the Daily Stoic 366 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hasselman. As I say every single time, if you don't know what Stoicism is, go Google it. Created on a porch, ancient Greek philosophy. Stoic actually means porch, and that's where they used to teach it. Which, to me and Big Philly grew up on the porch, man. We call it stoop sitting. We just sit on the steps. And that's, I grew up sitting on steps. Oh, that sounds stupid, but I always thought it was cool. Ancient philosophy about controlling yourself, controlling your emotions, only doing what's in your reason choice, and being a good person first and foremost, I would think is. And temperance. Temperance is a big one. Do not give in to your desires. If you give in to every single desire, it will ruin you. Be able to hold off, put it off, wait, whatever it is. Too much of a good thing is never good. Always, right? Too much of anything. If you cannot control it, you become a slave to your desires. Today is March 23rd. Excuse me. The straight-jacketed soul. Oh, I didn't grab a coffee. I better go grab coffee. Sorry, I'm distracted. I do have to get to work. The straight-jacketed soul. The diseases of the rational soul are long-standing and hardened vices, such as greed and ambition. They have put the soul in a straitjacket and have begun to They have put the soul in a straitjacket and have begun to be permanent evils inside it. To put it briefly, this sickness is unrelenting distortion of judgment. So things that are only mildly desirable are vigorously sought after. Seneca, Moral Letters. I blanked right out while I was reading that. I was like, oh my God, I didn't get coffee yet. I got to get to work. My apologies. I'm a little distracted. The diseases of the rational soul are long-standing and hardened vices. All right, let's continue. Let's see what the modern day Stoics have to do. This ain't gonna be my greatest video, clearly. In the financial disaster of the late 2000s, hundreds of smart, rational people lost trillions of dollars worth of wealth. How could such smart people have been so foolish? These people knew the system, knew how the markets were supposed to work, and had managed billions, if not trillions of dollars. And yet, almost to a person, they were wrong, and wrong to the tune of global market havoc. I don't know what, and yet almost to a person? I don't know what that means. Global market havoc. It's not hard to look at the situation and understand that greed was some part of the problem. Greed was what led people to create complex markets that no one understood in the hope of making a quick buck. Greed caused other people to make trades on strange pools of debt. Greed prevented anyone from calling out the situation for what it was, a house of cards just waiting for the slightest breeze to knock it down. It doesn't do you much good to criticize those folks after the fact. It's better to look at how greed and vices might be having a similar effect in your own life. What lapses in judgment your vices might be causing you, what sicknesses you might have, and how can your rational mind step in and regulate them. True, right? Like, we can sit here and talk trash about this and that, just like I said, political statements, right? Although I do believe regular people need to start talking. I think the government's fucking us. But in this situation, this makes me think. So Ryan Holiday wrote a book called The Obstacle is the Way. And he's talking about people who in the Great Depression found a way to be successful in the darkest of the times. To not look at the problem is the fucking solution. Go right through it. There is ways to make it. There is ways to be successful. But not only successful, I think for me, my aim would be to help people, right? I want to use my voice to help people in any fucking fashion that I can. So my political stuff is like, yo, we need to help each other. We need to stand up together. But in this situation, it's like, yeah, it's easy to, I don't know nothing. And that's the truth about it, right? Like, I could sit here and talk all day. I do have a strong belief. I do feel I can speak. But at the same time, I don't know nothing of how it really works. And I'm just judging from the back seat, so to speak. Anyways, that is your Daily Stoic for March 23rd, 2025. I apologize. I am distracted. I have to run. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.